Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 8 of SevTech Ages. Today we're going to dive into Astral Sorcery. So the first thing we need to do is to craft a light well. A light well collects or allows us to turn these rock crystals into uh, liquid starlight, which is like the fluid resource for Astral Sorcery. But it looks like there's not enough. It's like midday right now, and Astral Sorcery works best at night, at least in the early stages. So we have to wait for night to fall before we can do this. But let's see if we can work around that. Can we do blood magic rituals yet? If we can make the imperfect ritual stone, we can. There's a blood magic ritual that can allow us to make it nighttime. Although by the looks of it, that might have to wait for age, whatever one's next, 3. Well, that's a shame. So if we can't do the blood magic ritual, then let's see what we can do. We can. Let's gather the materials, I guess, to make the Fossic resonator. Well, this is made. Well, that needs a bucket of starlight, but everything else, that's a bronze rod. What do I make that? A hammer or bronze plate? Okay. So I guess nighttime's almost here. So let me make that bronze plate or bronze rod. And then we can wait that little bit more for nighttime to fall. So as night falls, if you look closely, there's like 2 bars here. This is a current light level, like starlight level, and that's the starlight level required to craft. So ignore the thunder. That's just my Necronomicon recharging over there. So as the sun goes below the horizon, I expect that the light level will begin rising. For the first maybe half of Astral Sorcery, we're a little bit slave to night. Like we won't really be able to do much during the daytime. There we go. But once we have access to collector crystals, we can do most of our crafting during the day. And then when we get advanced collectors, we'll be able to do all of our crafting regardless of time of day or anything. So I'm gonna make I'm thinking 6 of these. They're pretty slow individually, so I want a bunch so that we can run them in parallel. So let's craft these up. And then by using liquid hoppers, we can extract the light, whatever, the starlight out of these. Now there's one interaction I want to test as well. Normally, you can, if you have liquid starlight, you can mix it with, or not mix it, but like, you know how you can make a cobblestone generator with lava and water? You can normally make a different type of generator, a sand generator, using liquid starlight. So where do I want to put this? Let's just do it here for now. So I'm thinking if we put our light wells in this shape, we can replace these 3 pieces with with a liquid hopper, and this one with some type of fluid container, and then we can have them automatically be feeding into a fluid container so that we don't have to extract from them manually, because these light wells only have like a 2 bucket fluid capacity. So for now, let's just start them off by melting down rock crystals. Each rock crystal, on average, produces, I'd say, about 5 to 10 buckets of starlight. So if we don't extract it, we end up wasting some. Anyways, so that's running. Unfortunately, the tooltip doesn't say how much is in it. But I'm going to go craft up some fluid containers and some fluid hoppers, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now we're gathering up our liquid starlight automatically into these barrels. When they fill up, what I'm doing, at least for now, is just let's make sure this one's full. I take it, use carry on to move it aside, and then pick up a new barrel and put it in its place. And each of these hoppers has a 16 bucket internal capacity too, so We shouldn't lose any starlight to barrel over. All right, so let's test the lava interaction to see if we can make. Normally, this makes sand with a chance to make aquamarine shale. So I'm hoping that's what it still does, but let's see. Nope. I heard something about this pack changing this interaction. So I mean, this is a cobblestone generator, but it's slightly better than a vanilla one, I guess, because it's faster. But in the end of the day, it's just a cobblestone generator. So I think I'm going to not bother with that. Which means it's a shame because that's normally an automated way to make aquamarine, but it seems like that's disabled here. Alright, so anyways, where did my... There we go. Whatever. So, moving on, it looks like night is almost over, so let's see if we can make that Phosic resonator before night ends. We need 2 marble and a gold. Do I not have marble? Any marble? Oh, we probably took too long. Let me get a gold ingot. Alright, and let me chisel this marble, I guess, into any Astral Sorcery marble. And with it being daytime, almost assured... Oh no, there is enough starlight to do this craft. Just enough by the looks of it. Alright. So now, I don't think we can really use this during the day. So when it's nighttime again, I'll show you how we use this. But we can, the goal is to find a starfield to do our crafting in. And that way we can even do some of it during the day. So our next goal then will be to upgrade this crafting table to a luminous table. So let's see what that would take. Wait, no, that's one we already have. This is one we want. So this takes some marble, a crystal, and another bucket of starlight. So, alright, it's 4 pillars and 2 chiseled marble. Most of these things do have crafting recipes, but I find it's easier to just chisel it into the right form of marble than try to craft it. Right, like here you can craft 4 together to make that. There's no way I'll remember those crafting recipes ever. Oh, whoops, I also think I did the wrong. I did 2 pillar. Wait, no, is that right? No, it's 4 pillar. Well, these should be chiseled, and these should be pillars. And then this bucket I have to fill with starlight. So, the process of making liquid starlight is a lot less efficient during the day too. I think we only get like 2 millibuckets per, what is this, maybe like quarter second when it fires off. During nighttime we get more, but we can't always make it nighttime yet. So, oh well, we make do with what we got. So now that this barrel's full, I'm just moving it over to here, grabbing another one. Next age, or maybe the one after, we'll get higher capacity fluid storage, so we won't have to micromanage these 8 bucket barrels quite as much. Alright, so let's see if we can craft this. Doesn't look like there's enough starlight. We need to get to here. Alright then, maybe if I built it at a high Y level, we'd get enough. But for now, we're already halfway through the day, so how about we'll just wait for nighttime to fall? It doesn't look like there's much more I can do right this moment. So I'll just do some inventory management while we wait for nighttime to fall. Before I forget, I want to make sure we start the process of crafting celestial crystals pretty early. So celestial crystals are basically the upgraded version of these rock crystals, and to craft them you throw a rock crystal and a piece of stardust into a puddle of liquid starlight, And after a couple seconds, the liquid starlight will be absorbed and another thing will take its place. I'll show you what it looks like when it happens. Could be any second now. Any second now. So we're doing this for a couple reasons. First of all, celestial crystals. I think, yeah, so if you look here, their size gets up to 900, whereas for rock crystals, their size is capped at 400, so they're just better in that sense. So here we have a celestial crystal cluster, and this will take some time to grow. If we look at F3 on the right side where the metadata is, I think when it's 4, it's done, or is it 3? One or the other. But when it's done, it'll give off little particle effects. And at that point, we can harvest it with the pickaxe. It'll not only give us at least one of our stardust back, but very likely it'll give 2. So with that, for now, this is our only way, short of going out into the world and finding more of those veins, to collect, to produce stardust. Alright, so I would do more than 4 of these at a time, but we only had the 4 stardust. So these, from my experience, take about an hour to max out. So starting it now, we probably will even have to end up waiting for them down the line. But, well, this is the soonest we can start them. So we'll just let that go. And it looks like nighttime is almost here. So actually I'll leave this over here. So when nighttime comes, we should be able to use our Phosic resonator and craft our next tier crafting table. Alright, let's wait for that sun to drop. Alright, the sun has fully set and it's nighttime, so we can craft our Starlight crafting table. And I think that actually upgrades our luminous crafting table. So I think this table will go away, if I recall. And it'll be replaced by the next tier one. Looks like it takes a little while. So while that goes, let's pull out our Phosic resonator and take a quick look around. What we're looking for are small, or perhaps not so small, puddles of blue on the ground. And the larger the puddle, the better. And it'll just be like hovering right above the ground. And we're hoping to find something pretty close to our base. So as we look around, I don't see any yet. They're pretty evident when you see them. It's like a fog cloud, I guess is how I would describe it. Let's just slime sling around then. I guess whoopsies, I do need this in my hand. I think it works in the offhand. I hope it works in the offhand. I think that was my crafting table finishing. And I heard something about it being more likely to spawn at high Y levels. So let's get up here and hopefully not get knocked off by that skeleton. Doesn't look like it's up here though. There we go. So you see that down there? That like blue field? It's a little faint from up here, so let's drop down. It clings to the ground, so if we build a platform, it'll go up, and this is huge as far as starfields I've seen goes. This is a starfield, and if we build our starlight crafting altar in here, it'll have much more starlight resource, even during the day. So this blue field is what you're looking for when you're looking for a place to put your crafting stuff. And I believe it also performs better at high Y levels. So I'm thinking, let's get out of here for now. What I'll do is I'll build a platform there, perhaps at Y level like 100-ish. I think it maxes out around 200 for the bonus. But I'll build it at Y level 100-ish, just so it's a little off the ground. I don't have to worry about mobs coming in to punch me. And here's our Starlight crafting altar. So when we pick that up, that should complete our advancement. Oh, we have to... Right, so the Starlight crafting altar uses a multi-block structure. Can we see it? I guess we have to look at in the book. So under probably attunement. That's a celestial altar. Is it in exploration then? Here we go. The Starlight crafting altar needs this structure to be built around it in order for it to work. And I'm going to go ahead and build it over there by the in the starfield. So we're going to need a lot of marble and some sooty marble. So let's grab that. Lots of marble, and this is just coal. All right. Easy enough. So is this enough normal marble? Maybe not. Huh, I might have to go mining for marble soon. Anyways, looks like it's almost daytime. Nighttime's gonna come to an end soon. So, how about I'll go build that platform above our starfield. Let's go mark it right now so I don't lose it when daytime comes, though. I'll just mark it with torches, I guess. And then we can begin the rest of we can craft our Starlight crafting altar up here. Alright, a few torches mark its approximate location. Anyways, let me go build that platform and I'll be right back. Alright, it's the next night cycle again, and I built our little platform up here high in the sky. I don't know exactly what the Y level is. Let's find out if I can find this. So we are at Y155. I figured I wanted to be slightly higher than the mountain, but I thought I lit that mountain up too, so that we wouldn't get ambushed by any skeletons. So for now, whatever. We'll do a ritual soon that'll provide a large area of no mob spawning. So anyways, here is our tier 2 crafting altar, or crafting table. It's kind of a pain to get up here. We have to climb this ladder for now, but at least getting down's easy. We can just jump because we have slime boots. So the next thing I want to craft is the telescope, and that'll let us find the constellations in the sky. So that's some sticks, planks, gold, more sticks, more gold, more planks, and some glass. So let me go get those components, and then we can craft that. So it's we. Alright, anyways, I'll see you once I have everything gathered up. Alright, so time to start crafting. And if you see, now that we're in this starfield, our starlight meter is completely maxed out at night. And I suspect there will even be enough starlight during the day to do most of our crafting. So let's make the looking glass first. We don't need 4 of them, just 1 will do. And I also wanted to place a chest up here somewhere to hold our stuff so that we don't have to head all the way downstairs for some basic components. So we can use the telescope to find constellations, although that's kind of a pain. So what I'm going to do is upgrade our looking glass to a telescope. And it looks like we might be a little too late to use it this night, unfortunately. Yeah, our star meter is already dropping a little bit, but I think even with it dropping, we should have enough to craft during the day for many recipes. So let's wait I'll wait a second until it's fully daytime and we can see how much star power we still have. Although it's just a bar, right? There's no numbers or anything labeling it. So it's tough to compare. Anyways, we can set this here. We can take a look around. So this is a constellation based on the blinking lights. I'm totally drawing it wrong. Anyways, yeah, we won't really be able to see it during the day, so let's not worry about it. Next time it's night, I'll show you how we can link up the constellations. So the starlight continues to drop, but what is our next goal? I guess it's to enter the Twilight Forest by creating a star metal ingot. So star metal ingot, for now, how do we make this? We can't right? None of these. We can't get star metal. Can we get? I guess we have to be able to get star metal ore. So we could transmute iron ore, but we can't get iron ore until we go to. Okay, so like this. Right, we can't get iron ore until we go to somewhere that world gens it, because iron ore in the overworld gives us these iron clusters when we break it. So what do we need to make this? 2 stardust, that's pricey. Nocturnal powder, that's not bad. Illumination powder, also not bad. Okay, so how about when it's nighttime? Actually, let's see if we can craft these during the day even. So I'll have to jump downstairs and get some of these components. Can we get glass? Well, we can just cook. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna jump downstairs, grab some of these components, and see if this is enough starlight for us to craft a star metal ore. Be right back. The first of our celestial crystal clusters is done growing, and if we check the metadata, it is metadata 4, and it has these little white particles. So that's how we know it's done. I also made a 6 tall pig totem to give luck. I'm told that luck affects it, although I don't expect it to, because usually this type of thing is affected by fortune, not luck. So anyways, what we get out of it is we get a celestial crystal, and we get at least our 1 stardust back, which means we can use that stardust to grow yet another celestial crystal. Our goal is to get a few of these with very high starting purity. So 87 is pretty good, but I'm hoping to get stuff that can start in like above 95. So anyways, we toss it back in there, and then it'll just start going again. So I'm going to continue collecting our components to make the star metal as we go here. Alright, it's nighttime again, and we're back on our Astral Sorcery platform. Let's take a look through the telescope. What we're looking for are these large blinking stars. And that indicates, the large stars indicates that they're part of a constellation. So looking at this, I'm trying to figure out what constellation this is. I have a list of all of them, like as drawings, so I can try to reference it to try to figure out what it is. I think it's this one, which is Dissidia, which I think is the attack slash damaging constellation. So all you have to do is draw the lines between the various stars, and if you get it close enough, you'll discover the constellation. And now if we look in the night sky, normally we'd see it, but maybe there's another conflicting mod making, changing up the night box so we don't see it. Oh well. Anyways, cycling through that, on this next page we can see there's another constellation. This one wait, is it? No, maybe it's not. It's totally not what I thought it was. Hold on. Alright, so what constellation is this? Is it this one? Where does this go? To here. Here, and where is that last star? Here. So, Evorcio, and there's 5 of these constellations total. These are the major constellations. Here's another one. You'd think after having done Astral Sorcery so many times I'd be better at recognizing these constellations, but nope. I think this one is Avedius? I think these are Greek words or something, I don't know, or Latin. Definitely words I do not know how to pronounce, that's for sure. So if you just search for Astral Sorcery constellation maps, on Google, you'll be able to pull up the reference document I'm using to compare to. So it looks like on this night there were only 3. Was that 3 of the constellations out? and we were able to discover them. What that means is that now when we look in our book and go to constellations, first of all, since we've gotten the papers for all of them, I guess we can just use this as a reference too. But anyway, since we've gotten the papers for all the constellation papers, we can see them. But the one that we've discovered, we now know a little bit more about. So, Avedius is out when in these phases of the moon. And it is a bright constellation. As opposed to, there's secondary constellations and tertiary constellations. The same with Evorsio is out like this. And I believe it'll also even tell us the ritual effects of the constellation. So if we attune a crystal to this constellation and then do the ritual with it, it says that this one will damage nearby enemies, the Decidia ritual. Whereas, let's see, did we discover Avedius? Right, Avedius will give nearby living entities regeneration and crop growth rate. Whereas Visio, we didn't discover it, but Visio, I believe, gives creative flight in an area. So the ones that are particularly interesting, at least for me, are Visio gives creative flight in an area. One of the secondary constellations, called Boots, makes animals shed their drops. And it doesn't make them drop their items as if they were slain. It makes them drop their vanilla drop table loot, which means that we will be able to get stuff like leather off of cows, because in vanilla cows drop leather. So I'm pretty excited to get access to that constellation, hopefully soon, so that we can we don't have to do the complicated leather making process anymore. Do I not have aquamarine? That's awkward. Here we are. I'm almost out though. So anyways, now let's craft our illumination powder. We should be able to make a fair bit of it. Is there any reason not to use all of this stuff? Doesn't look like it. So again, even though it's daytime, because we're up here in the starfield, we have enough, and we're at a higher Y level, we have enough starlight resource to be crafting. So I wonder if we'll be able to do all 16 crafts at once. Come on, any day now. Maybe? There we go. Looks like it did about half of them. Anyways, this illumination powder stuff it's largely used as a crafting ingredient. We're going to have to make some nocturnal powder. But another cool thing that it enables is the cave illuminator. So the cave illuminator just uses some aquamarine, marble, and illumination powder. And it will somewhat slowly, but it'll light up all the dark areas in a rather large AoE. Over time. So we can place a couple of these in, say, the deep dark, and it'll light it all up for us, so we don't have to worry about getting, ganked by mobs while we're there or anything. So why can I only make 4 of this? What am I only have 4 black dye. Okay. That's fine by me. So now that we've crafted this, we can almost make our star metal ore, I think. What's missing? Yep, all that's missing is the star metal, or the stardust. But right now, all of our stardust is being used to craft celestial crystals down there, because that's our only way of duplicating stardust for the time being. So how about, let me put some of this stuff away here. I will just leave all these resources up here so that they'll be available, here in the Astral Sorcery area. And then I'll have to wait a few cycles for us to have enough spare stardust that I can take 2 of them away to make that star metal ingot. Maybe in the meantime, I'll go exploring a bit to look for... Is that done? Like, that one's done. In the meantime, I'll go exploring a bit to look for 2 dusts. And this one's also done. To look for... Sorry, I keep getting distracted. Only 1 dust. I'll go exploring a bit to go look for more of these rock crystal deposits, because each one gives a couple more stardust as well. So how'd we do? Pretty low purity on both of these. We'll probably not end up using those for anything. But anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna keep producing Stardust, and I'll be back when we're ready to craft some more. While we wait for our celestial crystals here to grow and produce us more Stardust, why don't we also start the process of growing the celestial crystals we already have to perfect stats? So what I'm doing is I'm taking these celestial crystals, which have imperfect stats right now, or if you look at their size, purity, and cutting are all imperfect, and I'm throwing them into liquid starlight. And what that does is that it causes the size to increase. And when the size hits maximum, which is 900, and you continue to immerse it in liquid starlight, it'll have a chance, basically each time it eats the bucket. Let's take a look at this one. This one has 900 right now. When I put it here and fill it with starlight, the next time it completes the cycle and eats that bucket of starlight, it has a chance to split into 2 crystals, both of which will have greater purity than the one, and be smaller in size. So by doing so, we can increase the purity of our crystals. Then we can make a grindstone, and with the grindstone, we can I don't think it shows up as a recipe here, but we can use it to reduce the size of a crystal in exchange for increasing its cutting. So through that cycle, we can eventually create the perfect celestial crystals, and those are the ones we want to turn into collector crystals. So I'm just going to, I have 3 that have like 85+% purity that I'm starting with. So I'm going to continue to immerse these in starlight and hopefully get them to, work towards becoming a perfect crystal while we continue to wait on these to finish. So this will probably take a little while. What I'm actually doing is I'm watching TV in the background while slightly micromanaging this. So yeah, I guess I'll just let this run for a while. It'll be probably a couple hours worth of crystal growth before we have enough to fill all this up, and then I'll start siphoning some off for other uses. So I won't obviously make you sit through a couple hours of watching, literally paint dry. So I'll just cut to when this process is all completed. Hey, would you look at that? The crystal that we were just looking at seconds ago has now split in 2. So now we have 2 new crystals. Both are significantly smaller, and they are both of higher purity than before. I think the initial crystal was like 86 or 85, and here we have an 87 and a 93. So we just repeat the process with both of these, and eventually we'll have a bunch of 100s. And we can even split 100s later, and they'll produce more 100s. So anyways, I know earlier I said I'll come back when this entire process is done, but I looked at the recording time, and I think we have, this is a good place to actually cut the episode. So how about we'll end this episode here. Between episodes, I'll finish the growing process, and next episode we'll come back and tackle more of Astral Sorcery. In fact, at this point, once we complete making the ingot or the star metal ingot and going to the Twilight Forest, we're very close to entering age 3. So maybe we'll jump, or after we go to the Twilight Forest, we'll do a little bit of Twilight Forest progression and get ourselves to age 3. How does that sound? But that is a project for tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.